Hello, welcome to Wizard of Chalk. I am working with the Always Calm, Always Bright transfer today. So this video is for if you missed the class and you wanted just to see exactly how I did the project. So I'm just going to lay this down onto the surface. You don't need to do any prep work or anything for the surface. And you just have to just get it lined up really well and make sure that there are no air bubbles. It's very important. Today I'm going to be working with white, and this is called Greige. It's a light gray. And this one's called Movelous or Marvelous. It's really cute, kind of a pink, but anyone who attends a class can pick whatever colors they want to use. They don't have to stick with these colors. I just thought that the gray and the pink looked really cute together, so I'm going to stick with that. And let's get started. We'll just, I'll go through if there's any tips and tricks at all that I come across as I find, as we need to do them. I'm gonna actually start with the white. And I just need some stir sticks. So if you didn't make it to class, you'll be working with paste pack singles. The little single packets. This is a little bit thick, I can see. I'm just going to add a little bit of distilled water. Give it a stir just to thin it a little bit. Your paste should be the thickness of a yogurt or cake batter. So when you lift your spoon or your stir stick off of your paste, it should run off of your stir stick. Shouldn't be too thick, but you don't want it too thin either. If it's really thick, it dries really quickly, which it does anyway, so you have to work fairly quickly. But what can happen is if it's too thick, it'll dry on your silk screen, and when you lift the silk screen up, it will stick with the silk screen and lift off your project, and you don't want it to do that. So I'm just gonna make sure these are good to go. I just used these ones on a project, the gray and the pink, so those are, I just stirred already and they're ready to go. So one first tip is I'm going to put the white on, but I'm gonna put it on kind of thick, and I'm just gonna let it sit there for while I'm working on the rest of it. I'm not going to squeegee it off yet because it does dry quickly, and I want to, I'll just squeegee it off at the end before I peel it off, the transfer off, because this will help to prevent it from drying out too quickly and ruining my project. So that's one little tip to do, and I still need to work quickly. All right, and I like to have just a wet wipe or a wet cloth or something beside me, because I always manage to get paste on my fingers, especially when I'm working quickly. So I like to work with just smaller squeegees. This is called a mini squeegee, and then I actually cut one in half, and you'll see that I use those fairly often. So I'm going to go ahead with the gray and do the wreath in the gray, and I'm just going to be careful about all the little circles, the little berries, because I want to go in and use the pink on those. Oops, and if I find that this is taking a little too long, I'm actually going to peel it up and dry it, and I may do that anyway just because I just don't want it to dry partway through. Just because it's a lot of little details and I have to be really careful. And I am scraping off the excess as I go. So I'm going to try and do about half in the gray, and then I am going to peel it up because it is drying quickly already. If you accidentally get some of like the gray color or whatever color you're working with on the wreath onto the dots, it's an easy fix. So I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, I'm just gonna go down about halfway here. Okay, and I'm going to quickly just squeegee off this white. Make sure I put it back into the right container. Okay, and I want to make sure I don't really have any lines because they can show a little bit. So I'm just going to quickly peel this back before it dries too much. And I have just a hair dryer. And I'm just going to do it on low heat, just to dry the work that I've done already. Okay, so that's air dried, and the other little tip, I'm just gonna get the end of my I have a Q-tip here, or you could use just like, you could even use, this is like a paper piercer if you're a scrapbooker and you happen to have one of those. So you could just scrape off, like I see a couple little spots, and I don't know if it's gonna pick it up on the screen or not, but there's a couple little spots that I got in the gray that's actually gonna be a different color for the little berries. So I'm just gonna go in and quickly just clean those up. It's really easy to do. Okay, and now I'm just going to carefully, I don't know if you noticed, I didn't peel the whole transfer off. I left it on the bottom, still stuck down. And I'm just gonna lightly lay it back in place. And I'm just gonna press down where the little berries are. And then right where the transfer, wherever I peeled it up, down on the lower parts, I want to make sure it's stuck really well and that there's no air bubbles before I start working on the bottom part. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and now, instead of cutting apart one of those mini squeegees, another tool that we have is actually, it's called a multi tool. It has a curved edge, which is great for when you're stirring. It gets right into the curved edges of the containers at the bottom and everything. And it also has, it's kind of stiff and firm, but it's good for getting into small areas as well. So I just wanted to show you that tool as well. So I'm just going to quickly do the berries and in the Malvolus. Don't mind me if I get a little quiet when I'm concentrating. I tend to do that. And I'm just going to work up to the area where I had done the gray up to. Okay, and I'm going to peel that. It's really cute. Okay. I'm just going to quickly give it a dry. All right. And again, just carefully lay it back down. Make sure there's no air bubbles. And I'm going to continue on with the gray here. I'm just going to be careful not to overlap too much on the gray where I had stopped doing it, because you don't want to basically re-wet the paste that you already laid down, because that also will make it stick to the transfer and lift up. If it does happen though, it's an easy fix. You just wash your transfer and let it dry really well. And then you can just line it up on your surface and just redo that one area, and it will work because you work quickly and you're not letting it sit. It's when the paste gets re-wet, basically, is when it can lift off the bottom layer. So that's another little tip and trick. Okay, so I got that done, and I'm actually going to try and do these berries real quick, and I'm hoping as long as I don't take too long, I should be able to get them done. But the trick is you do have to work quickly. Otherwise you have to just stop and peel back and dry more often, which is fine too. That works. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a little dry. Okay, so I do see a couple spots where it did lift a bit, but just because I was working a little bit too slow, I guess. But I have a paintbrush, and this is also a little tip and trick that you can do. You can literally just very, very carefully, if you can see this spot, it did dry where I was starting. It dried just a little bit. This was where I ended, so it dried there a little bit too much. I'm gonna see if I can just go in and touch it up, and if not, I'll just have to clean this spot, wash my transfer, and let it dry really well, and then just redo this one area, which is fine, because I don't want it to look globby, which is one of the things with when you're working with a paintbrush. It's fine for a little touch up, but once you start putting too much on, it doesn't look good. It looks like already I can see that that's probably not going to work. So I will just end up cleaning that section off and just clean my transfer and redo just that one little portion there. But once this is good and dry, it will be, you can rub it and everything and it won't come off, which is really good. Another little trick, so we're talking about those pokey tools again. This is a paper piercer. If you find, you may get, I don't know if you can see that, right, say in around the M, my white just lightly bled just a little bit there. And I'm a little bit particular, maybe you aren't as fussy as I am, but I like a good clean edge. So this is actually a really good tool to have, I have found anyway, just to kind of basically scrape. It has to be dry when you do it. You don't want to do it when your paste is still wet, but you want to just carefully go in and scrape up wherever the little bleed is. And it works perfectly. So yeah, I was able to just clean that edge up. And there's another one right there by the L. Okay, so there we go. So that's that. I'm just gonna quickly put the lids on because the pastes do dry out fairly quickly. So just wanna make sure your lids are on and they're on really tight. Distilled water is what you want to use, preferably. If you don't have distilled water or don't want to get any, you can just use tap water. That's fine too, or a bottled water. Bottled water might be a better bet, maybe even. But I'm just gonna go now where I have the ribbon. So this comes with your 10-inch round surface. And so what I'm gonna do is, actually, I think 2 bells on here would be super cute, don't you? So, I don't know if any of you have, this is just a bendable wire. You can do it with anything though. I mean, if you had a wide enough needle, you could just do that. I'm just going to basically use this to thread my bells on. Okay, and then I'm going to, I mean, we can readjust, you can adjust the string to however long you want it to be, but, so I'm just going to tie the ends for now. Actually, I shouldn't tie it, sorry. I need to weed them through the hole first. So, okay. So I just put it through the hole on the surface, and then I'm going to tie the ends. And I'm going to just take my ribbon or jute, my string, and literally, I almost wonder if I should put 3 on there because that's looking a little inappropriate for some reason. You know what? I think I'm gonna add another bell. Maybe it's just me that thinks that looks inappropriate, but anyway, I'll just fix that just because visually it's looking a little funny. Okay, so I'm just going to add a third bell to my project. And I wonder if I need to take this whole thing out. Let's try it before I do. Hoping I can just maneuver it around. Okay, I think it'll work. I think I got it now. Okay. So now I'll go back and I'll tie these ends again. Okay, what's going on here? Got it all kind of wonky. Okay, I'm just going to trim this end off. Okay, and then, because I'm working with the grays, I'm going to actually go ahead and tie some gray ribbon. And I may have to play with this a little more just to get it good, but I think once it's hanging it'll be fine. Alright, and I'm just going to cut my end. Just on an angle. You can dovetail too if you like that look. And I'm just going to cut another piece. This is a little gingham. I thought it was kind of cute. Ties in the white and the black. The other thing I don't have is that shade of mauve in a ribbon, so I'm just going to not use that color. I'll just stick with these. And you may have ribbons at home even that you could use yourself. Again, I'm just going to cut my ribbon ends. Yeah, I may need to play with this a little bit, but you get the idea. You can kind of figure it out. I'll give you the 3 bells and ribbon and stuff, and you guys can decide for yourself if you want to add it, how you want to add it. Maybe it would be cute even with a big bow. I'm not sure. I'm undecided on that. But anyways, I'll play with it some more and I'll figure it out. But so that's a really cute little project, and I'm just going to quickly grab the other part. So what I've done is I've got included in your kit, there are a couple of wooden tags. They just look like that. And I use the same transfer. So this is a way to show you how sometimes you want to look outside of just a standard use of a transfer and how you can use it in different ways. So this one I literally just used the All Is Calm on that portion, and on this one the All Is Bright on that one. And then I just took I dried it really well, and then I took the transfer and just kind of decided where would be a good spot to put it. And I just laid it down. I added a couple extra dots on this side. And I did them in the same color combinations, and they look really adorable. On these ones, I added just a single bell, and these tags come with pre-cut jute already, and so I just used that, and I added the gray and the gingham ribbon as well, and it's so adorable. Anyways, I just thought that was so cute as a kit. And so if you have any questions, you can always just let me know, and I will be happy to let you know what the answers are. And otherwise, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for supporting my business, and thank you for you know, for being part of my class, even though you weren't able to attend. I appreciate your business, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.